You're listening to The Experts, a TPNAN original.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Furrologists. That's right, Furrologists. What is Furrology, you might ask? Well, fortunately for you and all of our listeners, we have three of the world's best experts to talk about Furrology and how much attention really, truly must be paid to Furrology. It was certainly a learning experience for me. I just met these three individuals just a few minutes ago. So in no particular order, please allow me to introduce them to you. On my left, I have Galaxia Fornucopia.
Dr. Galaxia Fornucopia.
I'm so sorry. Dr. Galaxia Fornucopia, who, well, if I may be so bold, tell you a little backstory here. University of Macedonia graduate. She got a PhD in furrowed anatomy. That's right, I said B. I had to look this up myself. But, well, why don't you just go ahead and explain the difference between a mainstream doctorate, if you will, and a PhD. I hear it's cutting edge. Please, tell us more about it, Galaxia.
Well, I'm glad you corrected yourself because that whole thing, it's starting to sound a little bit classist, if you know, a little bit condescending with this mainstream degree talk. I will have you know that a PhD is the foremost degree you can get in Macedonia. It is equivalent to, if not superior to, any other degree anywhere else in the world.
Any other degree of any course of study?
Anywhere for anything.
Anywhere?
Yes.
For anything.
You heard me.
Oh. All right, moving forward, next to Galaxia is Cyndi Lauper. Doctor.
By the way, I admire your forearms.
Thank you, Galaxia. Dr. Cyndi Lauper.
No relation.
No relate to
Cyndi Lauper.
To Cyndi. I'm sorry, Cyndi who?
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper?
Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, are you from New York?
I am.
Well, that's really interesting because I actually, come to think of it, I don't have any information on you at all.
Oh, well, that's so strange.
What are your credentials, Dr. Lauper?
Well, I went to school at Pulmonary Secondary School in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
And that's where I learned all about furrowing. And now I'm one of the leading doctors on Furrowology.
Furrology.
That's right. Furrowology.
Okay. Furrology, great. So you are a doctor and you're active in your practice.
I was the only person in the Bronx to get my doctorate from high school.
Okay, well, thank you. Galaxia, have you ever worked with Dr. Lauper?
No.
Okay. On the end here, we have Dr. Keagel von Oriface. Did I pronounce that correctly, Doc?
Very well, yes. Thank you.
Dr. Oriface. Well, it's a pleasure. You certainly were the furthest away. We had to notify you several days in advance. I understand you're a very busy man. Where are you from?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I only travel by bus, and the Greyhound is very slow. Very, very slow. Many stops. It did take 3 full days. I am a different man now.
Okay.
But I'm here for your panel.
Well, your reputation precedes you, sir. They told me you were a very humble man. It's really a pleasure to have you. You certainly have quite a few degrees, if I may. I understand you spent 11 years at, hopefully there's a few umlauts here, but hopefully I've got it right, Wappenhorfnudel University in Berlin. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
I see here you got a doctorate in cosmetology is your first degree.
Yes, I actually signed up to be a cosmologist. But I didn't read correctly, and I wanted to study the cosmos, but due to a clerical error, I wound up studying faces and pores.
Dr. Oriface, you might not believe this, but in the 9th grade, I myself took cosmetology by accident. I was a big fan of Star Trek, and
wow.
I know all 9 parts of the nail, and I can give really quite... anyways, this is not a study on cuticles. It's a study.
It's an honor to be here on this show, and congratulations on your award. Host with the most.
Oh, yes, thank you. I read that myself this morning in the Boston Garbage. Thank you. But also, congratulations to all three of you, since we're in the spirit of high fives and belly rubs and all that stuff. I understand that you
A good boy.
are specialists in your field. So, of course, the big question is, what is Furrowology? Now, I understand that it's a very serious issue, and to be honest with you, I didn't know until this morning just how much it threatens our lives and needs to be minded. So, Dr. Fornucopia, what is Furrowology?
Well, I think, if you're not careful about things, your furrows can get out of hand, and you don't want that to happen because the manner in which your skin settles in that way will tell your future.
Okay.
If you don't maintain that line of those nice straight lines, you don't want too many offshoots. Or else your life is just going to be havoc.
Dr. Oriface, Dr. Lauper, do you concur?
Oh yeah. Actually, a lot of people don't realize that in Hollywood, the reason that wrinkles became so unpopular was because of the danger that they made. If you let wrinkles get out of hand, you can actually be enveloped by them entirely and suffocate on your own wrinkles. And it's a real health concern.
Okay. Dr. Oriface, schooling as far away as you did, sir, was Hollywood a big influence on your plight to follow this course of study?
Well, to be honest, I did not consume any media. I had a media blackout period for most of my life. We did not have television growing up. We did not have newspapers coming our way. I just had what my parents told me, and the school children and the teachers. So
now you're in Oklahoma and everything is fine.
Oh, yes, I do. I mean, now I like to kick back and watch Nip Tuck.
Excellent show.
Yes. Can I go back a little bit? You mentioned Galaxia, Doctor. The furrows can tell the future. Now, I need to...
And like any sort of health concern...
That's an excellent question, by the way, Dr. Lauper.
Excuse me, I'm talking.
Oh.
Man asked me a question.
About time travel, I believe, right? Is that...
Have you been listening at all?
I'm taking notes, Dr.
Listen, you know what? Zip it. Okay?
Oh, okay. Well, commercial free is commercial free radio is certainly all right.
A guest.
You did invite her.
Yes, you are.
So as I was saying,
yes,
you have to be very careful because things can get out of hand. You try to corral these things. You want to watch your furrows, right, for your future, but also you don't want to be too maintenance-y about them like Joan Rivers. That's what killed her. She was too much worried about the wrinkles, too much worried about the furrows, and I believe she actually just stretched herself out of existence in the end.
To oblivion.
Stretched too thin. It can happen. Unfortunately,
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we have bicycle riding chimpanzees on the show. Please continue. Bicycle riding chimpanzees on the show.
Caution
it'll be really a
your
great
listeners
show.
that the study of
we're going to be talking
Furrowology
to doctors
is
of iron molding.
Furrowology
That's right.
is
Right
relatively
here.
new.
So tune in next week.
The study of time travel, quantum Furrowology is so fringe.
Clearly,
It's cutting
you all
edge.
have a lot to say about this.
What's your next question, please?
Well, please forgive me. You may have noticed that I was sort of, I didn't mean to talk over you. I tried to talk under you, but we're just trying to save some time because clearly you all have a lot to say about Furrowology, but it seems to me that not all three of you are really on the same team, and I hope I'm not being brash or bold.
Do you mean sexually?
Well, this isn't that
Because
kind
I like
of
girls. Do you like
panel.
girls?
I enjoy girls.
Do you like girls?
You're okay.
Well, it's
There
quite
you go.
interesting.
We're all on the
that-
same team. I'm not sure why you're trying to pit ourselves against each other.
You know what? Let's do that. Let's bring sex into Furrowology. I'm glad you said that. You know what? Let's take this in a whole new direction. Dr. Fornucopia, thank you so much. Since you're the one with the PhD in Furrowology, I turn to you, Doctor. Goiters. Okay? Let's just come out with it. That's right, folks. You at home, you heard me right. Goiters.
Goiters.
I'm not sure that there's a Macedonian translation equivalency for that word. Can you please explain to me what this English word is?
Goiters, something the world finally needs to talk about, because many people have them.
I'm sorry. Can
I do not.
Can I interject?
Oh, Dr. Lauper, please.
I've done a bit of studying on goiters because they're highly relevant, and I find that what they really are is just it's a football-shaped item growing out of your neck, made out of furrows. So it's basically a big hunk of wrinkles that grows out your neck.
See, I don't know that that's entirely true, because I've seen goiters.
Yes, we have those in Macedonia as well.
That are shaped like Australia. Go figure.
Are you an expert, sir?
Do you have a PhD?
Am I an expert on goiters? Is that what... No, I'm not an expert on goiters.
Gehiva-vuven. That's what they're called.
In Macedonia.
Gehiva-vuven.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually where they were invented.
Goiters
Macedonia.
were invented in...
It means god-awful, ugly growth coming out of your parts that no man should have because God has cursed you.
You know, the fact that we are all here right now discussing this very topic, the fact that people come here every week and discuss topics, it really all boils down to the people that are listening at home. So if you will allow me for just a second to say, Geviva-vuven. Moving forward, goiters.
Very important talk we are having here.
Well, you know, I understand that the three of you, small as the Furrowology industry really is,
tiny,
have never actually worked together. But just for the benefit of the folks at home, we are putting together an organization, because clearly this is an issue that you feel very strongly about. Furrowolopedia.org is a place that you can go to and ask any one of these fine panelists. Furrowopedia.org, and you can talk to them about anything you want regarding wrinkles. Help me out here, folks. What classifies?
Quizzical looks.
Quizzical looks, yes, definitely. Yes. Quizzical looks.
Frowns.
Yes. Frowns.
General puzzlement.
Wrinkles.
Abrupt sneezing.
Oh, yes.
Abrupt sneezing is interesting.
Yeah, that's a common symptom.
Also slow sneezing.
Slow sneezing, long sneezing, itchy fingernails.
Deep thought.
Deep
thought.
Deep thought.
The deepest of thought.
Twingy back of the knee. A lot of people get very sexually confused about goiters. This is not talked about nearly
enough. Now, wait a minute,
enough.
side effect. Dr. Fornucopia,
Why do you always ask? I'm talking to you.
But Dr. Lauper, you have to understand, Dr. Fornucopia just a few minutes ago, said that goiters made time travel possible. Is that... Dr. Oriface, if I got that correct, have you...
You're extrapolating.
Why are you asking him what I said? And no, I did not.
But wait, time travel. Oh,
so
boy.
maybe
All right,
you should
fine.
let us
Let's
finish
do it.
our
Let's go back to
thoughts,
this.
yeah? Because we're the experts here that you invited.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's not really about time travel, our purpose here today,
do you
folks.
actually listen to what our answers are, or are you just making shit up that you think we would say?
It's an interviewer's job
Look,
to get the relevant information.
There is time travel,
and
but
put
you
it out
just...
there.
What exactly, how much are you reading into it?
Well, I understand that you all went to school for years. Combined, you all have a 32-year scholarly history amongst you as a whole. So
also combined IQ.
So I appreciate that in 25 minutes it's hard to wrap all of what you learned in 32 years into a 25-minute program. But time travel?
Mr. Interviewer, if I may.
Please.
Time travel is a side effect of the goiter. Now, you see, people get very sexually confused about the goiter because it's very wrinkly and reminds them of
ball sacks
or yoni. And
time travel.
Listen.
Okay. All right. Please, Dr. Lauper, continue.
So, the sexual confusion causes some misconduct. And sometimes people will insert their organs into the goiter instead of into a sexual organ. And this will actually cause a rift in space-time.
Time.
Yes. So time travel is actually the cause of fucking a goiter.
Okay.
It's quite the fetish. There's really quite a market for it. You'd be surprised how many people like to fuck goiters. Do you like to fuck goiters?
Oh, yeah.
Do you like to fuck goiters?
I like to film it.
That's why I got into this business in the first place.
A note to our listeners that the opinions expressed herein are not a reflection of this radio station or its subsidiaries or its umbrella corporations in any way, shape, or form, in any language whatsoever.
I have a friend who likes to film goiter snuff films.
Goiter snuff.
Ooh, what's his name?
Emilio
Doesn't he?
Estefan.
Ooh.
Does he just? I know Emilio Estefan. He just works at the surgery. He just films the camera of the surgeries.
Is
and the
watching
excision.
goiter snuff films part
That's
of...
not a snuff film.
Well,
part
there's
of
quite a
the
market
curriculum?
for it on the black
Wow.
side of the fetish porn industry.
Is
black
that
market.
required viewing in order to get your degree?
It is, yes, because
Goiter snuff films.
you have to be tested for your sexual attraction to goiters to become to get
And
a
also your
doctorate.
tolerance. They just take us and they lock us in a big room for 24 hours and they just show us goiter snuff films. No food.
They measure out
dark.
breathing patterns, and the heavier we breathe,
Crammed in there like cattle.
Dr.
The better
Oriface,
our
did you
marks.
have to watch goiter snuff films?
I am taken aback here.
I'm
In
shocked.
Berlin, this would be considered torture, inhumane. This is awful, awful.
Yeah, you Germans are real humane.
Oh, now, okay, that's, I can handle the swearing, but we're not going to name or blame any country's race or creed. That's just not what we do here.
I'm from Oklahoma, remember? I just studied.
He's
in Berlin.
Oklahoman.
Dr.
Doctor.
Oriface.
I'm your Oklahoma boy.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I thought I remembered you saying something just a moment ago about you doing some recordings of your own snuff films in the goiter department.
I believe that was the goiter porn.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
so
yes.
how can you say that it's disgusting to watch goiter porn if you make it?
Oh, no. I don't partake in the excision or the snuffiness of goiters. No, I embrace the lovemaking aspect of the goiters.
Oh, so it's really
pleasure.
just more of a, like a lovey-dovey kind of...
Yes, I dress them up. I put little hats on them,
Oh, my goodness.
little googly
That's
eyes.
so sweet.
Yeah.
Aww.
They act out little scenes and then they get fucked.
Dr. Oriface, it's quite interesting to know that I used to live in Oklahoma and almost became a police officer there in Oklahoma City, as a matter of fact.
Really fascinating.
The OCPD. And I happen to know, on good authority, that snuff films, its mere existence, it's a state law. It's illegal in Oklahoma. So I'm wondering how you get around that little landmine.
Once again, I don't kill the goiters. I
Right,
put
but
them on a pedestal.
you take part in these goiter snuff films. Is that correct?
No, not the snuffy part, just the fucky part.
Right, yeah. Well,
Talk to these freaks. I didn't know they were into the
I'm
stuff.
starting to think again, Mr. Interviewer, if that is your real name, that you're still not listening to us. We've been over this many times. The conversation has been quite clear. I think I'm not sure you're paying attention.
yes, but my concern, you see, is that somebody
See,
has just admitted to
Just
an illegal
dismissive,
act
so dismissive.
on our show. And, quite frankly...
Would you like to see an illegal act on your show? Because I can show you.
No, absolutely not. No, there's no
Mr.
reason.
Interviewer, you're really showing your true colors right now. I can see your true colors.
As an interviewer? Well, thank you for that compliment.
One might say they're shining through quite clearly.
Yeah, someone did say that. I don't know who though.
Okay.
Unless you're going to validate my parking, I really must be on my way soon.
I will validate your parking, sir.
Okay.
One more question, if I may. Hair removal, okay? What are the health benefits? Dr. Oriface?
The health benefits of hair removal.
Yes.
Of the furrowed brow.
Unless there's some kind of hair removal orgy film
No.
chain thing going on, and I don't want to know anything
No,
about
not yet. No, going to the basics of hair. Listen, a good furrow should be a clear furrow.
Yes, you don't want to let that hair get in the way of your future.
No fuzz, no stubble, no dreads. The dreaded furrow.
So you recommend hair removal?
Absolutely. Your life will
for
improve.
sure,
Your
for sure.
puzzled looks will not be misconstrued for disgust.
Ogreish
Yeah.
advances.
The other thing is, with all the fucking that happens in a furrow, like the hair can be a little bit chafy on a member going into a wrinkle or furrow, and
What-
that's not pleasant. And also, it can cause infection.
Yes,
in
I'm a
the
member of
furrow.
several furrows.
We're back to discussing intercourse,
Back to-
graphic detail.
Well,
on
that really is the gist of it all, isn't it, Mr. Interviewer? You called us here to know about furrows, and we know them very intimately.
But you guys, I was asking about the health benefits of hair removal. How is fucking...
The email that you sent said we were having an intimate conversation about furrows. To me, that implies sexuality. I'm not sure what sort of language you think you're using, but
That email
clearly-
didn't come from me. It came from the producers.
Well, you should talk to your producers because I was invited to the casting couch for an intimate conversation, and I'm not really sure what you think that means, but to me that means fucking. And because I'm a furrow expert, that means furrow fucking. So
I also
you need to
think
talk to somebody.
you might be a little bit confused about health benefits if you don't think that fucking has very positive health benefits.
Also, you don't have to worry about STIs with furrow fucking, really.
I'm Jehovah's Witness.
True. I mean, unless you don't wash before someone else had their way with it.
No, secondhand furrows.
Sloppy second furrow.
Oh,
Dangerous game.
Folks, I'm getting the 1 minute mark from my producers. Thank you very much, Dr. Cyndi Lauper. No relation. Dr. Keagel von Oriface from the University of Berlin, now living in Oklahoma and breaking the law. And Dr. Galaxia Fornucopia from the University of Macedonia with a PhD in furrowed anatomy. Thank you very much for coming down and ruining my day.
Goodbye.
Get out!
This week's episode of The Experts was brought to you by Kangaroo Candy. Get hopped up, you goofball.